Rock.
Yeah.
And every character he does on that has all of his great characters, from like the unfrozen caveman lawyer to like his Bill Clinton impersonation.
Frankenstein.
Yeah. They all have in them a little bit of like a wink at being a con man. Right? So they all just have that thing where he's like trying to pull one over on you. He's pulling one over on you to some degree. And that's his common thread with everything he does.
See, what happened with Phil Hartman, who I really like, and I think he's amazingly talented, was because the way his life ended.
Oh,
now
so
I'm
bad.
sad.
So sad. Such a tragedy.
Yeah.
His brother wrote a biography on him. It's like it's brilliant. It's really great. It's one of the best. That and Chris Farley's brother wrote a book too.
Well, I never liked Chris Farley until after he died, and then I started to see the similarities with John Belushi, and then I started to see him and David Spade were actually friends, and it carried over. And David Spade told the story about, fat guy in a little jacket, and he said that every day Chris Farley would come in and do that until he laughed. Yeah. And he would just keep doing it until he laughed.
The thing with Chris Farley that made him so great is like he was shockingly athletic.
He was a very physical.
So good at physical control. He was so talented at being able to manipulate his body into storytelling.
Yeah, it was like watching somebody throw a beanbag chair around. Yeah.
When like the Matt Foley, like the van down by the, like if you like, I have watched that. One thing I like to do is I watch a lot of comedy on mute, so I don't hear it. I just watch the physicality of it.
Right.
And I've watched that sketch on mute. And the way he throws himself around and the way he
goes through the tape
and he moves through his body around and does all that, and how his gut hangs out and everything. It is so spectacular. It is so good.
Yeah. I live in a van down by the river.
Yeah, it is so good.
And what makes that sketch and what makes a lot of Saturday Night Live sketches for me is to watch one comedian destroy other comedians. And when they're trying to cover up laughing,
Oh, I hate Jimmy Fallon and Saturday Night Live so much.
Well, because he's too easy.
Because like the key about being like a actor on a television show is that you should know how to act.
Right.
And the main crux of acting is not breaking your character.
Well, I think
that's kind of rule number one.
I think he's talented in being a likable guy that's buddies with people. But as far as other than that, he was always the one wrecking the sketch.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, his show is like I'm not like the biggest fan of his show.
I'm picking it up.
Yeah. But I don't like him on Saturday Night Live. His show is hit or miss for me. I like his show a lot more than I like him on Saturday Night Live.
Right, yes.
And I like his musical, like when he does music bits.
They're funny. They're always good.
His impersonations of musicians are they're arguably the best impersonations of like music impersonations you'll ever find. And the Roots are really great at that too.
We had Neil Young on there.
Mm-hmm.
I had James Taylor, the spoof he did.
Yep.
I thought that was all good, but I think that's a different avenue. So Lorne Michaels saw the talent in him, but he never quite got that on the screen when he was on the show.
Yeah, Chris Rock was the same way. Chris Rock wasn't that great on Saturday Night Live, and then he put out like some of the best stand-up specials of all time.
Yeah.
He just didn't have – he's not good at sketch comedy. Like, he's hilarious and one of the funniest people of all time, just not good at sketch comedy.
Well, and another one like that is Tracy Morgan. I didn't think was funny on Saturday Night Live because they didn't give him a lot. But then when he went on 30 Rock.
He's brilliant on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So another part of comedy is the material, the placement, the using the artist in the right form,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with Saturday Night Live and sketch comedy with Saturday Night Live, you have like 3 to 5 minutes to cram in a story, right? And it has to be a funny story, and you have to do it around what each person can bring to the table in terms of their skill set,
right?
Their strengths and weaknesses. And then you also have another variable, which is that the guest is in almost every sketch, and you don't know, you have a week to write for that. They have a week to put together something with that guest. And how does the guest fit in with that, right? And I actually took a sketch writing class like 10 years ago with someone who wrote for Saturday Night Live for a while. And he was saying like because I was like, why do you guys do so many, like, he wasn't on the show anymore, so he's like free to speak about it. I was like, why do you do so many recurring characters like that just lose steam like after the second time you've seen it? And he's like, and he explained it to me, is that, well, the guests come on and they say, oh, I love that character. I love that. Like, they've seen it because their agent or whoever played them a tape of the past 2 weeks.
And they want that.
And we know how to write that. So it's just, it's easier for us. We have to put together a show.
Well, they just did. And it seemed like I'm getting confused because they will show something and they'll do a rerun that was just on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which throws me off. I think I'm having a stroke or something. Or I'm time traveling
like
and don't
some
know
network thing or whatever. Yeah.
And they had the first one with Ryan Gosling with the alien abduction, which destroyed me because Kate McKinnon was. It's gold.
She is great. Kate McKinnon gold. Is so good.
And he broke character and lost it so much that you would forget about anything Jimmy Fallon's ever done because he was just losing it and he couldn't control it. They brought him back, did it again. And I think this time they did it just for the sole point of, let's see if we can destroy him more than the first time. Yeah. And they did it because he's talking the whole time. He's looking down. He's got his hand over his mouth. He's not able to get his lines out.
My favorite Saturday Night Live thing of the past few seasons was this commercial parody they did of it's called Boy and Well. Mattel's Boy and Well.
Oh yeah,
it's the toy for sensitive boys.
Oh no!
It's just like, and he just stares down a well, like looks at his reflection in the well for hours, and then it's like, and then like the voiceover work is like, he's a tragic figure now. Eventually, he'll leave a creative, fulfilling life, artistic lifestyle, but he's not ready yet. And it's so.
And then
good.
It ends with the balcony.
Yeah. He makes an immersion. It's like for comes equipped with balcony for dramatic immersion to dramatic scenes. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, that like cracked me up so much when I saw that.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
This is my favorite thing to do is to talk about comedy. It sure beats doing what I was doing before I came here, which was folding laundry
and dog ambulance.
Yeah, and hanging out taking my dog to the vet
where everybody judges her because of her hepatitis.
Yeah. This junky dog of
Don't
yours.
judge my dog.
Yeah. Look, she's trying to get over it. All right. We're working with her. All right. You don't know what we've been through.
Yeah, you don't know her pain.
Yeah.
You should work that in with your guru.
I mean, if I can find it, if I can find a way to do it, I will. I always try and find a way to like. It's got to fit like the plot of the my character is a plot each time I do the show, so I have to fit it into the narrative.
Canine illness. Think Sally Struthers.
Okay.
With her fundraisers for foreign countries, where she just
does dogs with hepatitis,
right?
Hepatitis dogs,
right?
All right,
right.
I'm not not discounting this.
Hounds with hepatitis.
Okay, I might do it. I might do it.
Yeah.
Nearly, the faces of the hounds with hepatitis. It'll just be a picture of my dog.
Yeah, just your dog.
90 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 3 dogs a year are hit. By this debilitating ailment.
One dog. Yeah. Will have liver inflammation.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be prone to diarrhea from taking the medicine.
Okay, well, thank you.
Can we end on that note?
End on diarrhea.
Yeah.
The
funniest of topics.
We started on fart and ended on diarrhea.
Yeah, the funniest of topics.
Much like a bad day.
Yeah. I call it Tuesday.
Yeah. Shut it off, Russell.
Oh my God.
Just make it stop.